Soul Lady? Oh, as in Soul of the Deep. Okay. Wait, did you say behind us? Kokomi! A little warning next time! Energy? In a tree? Dry berry? Oh, sorry. Yobo-Koban is a criminal? No, of course not. You're in the clear. In the clear. Good. What about Mizuki? Where did she go?
Something tells me a certain someone is missing me.
Huh? Miko and Mizuki!
Hello, traveler.
Yes, I left the rest to the young fellow from the Kamisato clan. At least for now, there's nothing suspicious to note.
That means the culprit didn't manage to sneak in. That's a relief.
Just like that, you let down your guard? And all it took was for me to wear her face.
The culprit? It's you!
Oh? Greedy little thing. I thought we agreed on 20. Oh, it's getting harder and harder to tease you, traveler.
Oh, can you stop with the teasing then? Even I'm reaching my limit.
500 years and you're still not used to it? Sounds like you need more practice.
At least spare me for the day. I can't take the mental torment right now. I'm running on fumes. Investigated the shogunate officials' nightmares. Analyzed the traces of yokai power around Mount...
All in one night?
Well, I didn't want someone to ruin the Mikawa Flower Festival. Besides, I've talked to many patients who worked multiple jobs just to make ends meet. You're very persuasive, Kokomi. It would seem you also have a talent for clinical psychology. I'll leave it to you two then.
Sweet dreams! Mizuki really cares about the festival, huh? She's putting...
Perhaps she's reminded of the festivals of the past when I was just a kid, and Mizuki a young Baku. We would rush past the other yokai, desperate to get the first piece of fried tofu from the ramen stand. It would seem she hasn't forgotten, even after 500 years. You know, there's something to be said for knowing when to keep your mouth shut, little one. Well, enough about the past. We must focus on the matter at hand.
But you didn't notice anything suspicious, right? That should mean the culprit didn't sneak in.
That's one possibility. The other is that the culprit's transformation is even more convincing than we imagined. In that case, we need a detective with a more professional skill set. Or we need to find a way to provoke them and...
But that sounds dangerous.
If the culprit is deep in disguise, a slight provocation won't completely expose them. What we need is to create reasonable doubt. Make the culprit question whether their cover is blown. As they hesitate over whether to make some... Oh, A didn't tell you? Allow me to show you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Mikawa Flower Festival, it is my honor to announce... An esteemed guest from Tenshukaku has agreed to take part in this year's festival. Please welcome Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder.
So this was your plan, Miko?
Well, not bad, right?
Wow, that was quite the entrance. Paimon can't believe she agreed to that. Why didn't you clue us in earlier? We wasted all that time asking pointless questions. Another day of hard work. Where did the time...
Almighty Shogun! Glory to your everlasting reign! Welcome, welcome.
This stall looks familiar. Yet it would seem the ownership has changed.
You must be thinking of Tomoki. He wasn't feeling well today, so I'm filling in.
I see. Yet, you remind...
What are you looking at, eh?
The food offerings. Working? Ah, I see. I appreciate your dedication, sir.
Of course. It's an honor to serve.
No need for formalities. I'll take 3 orders of dango milk.
Right away.
3 orders? So Paimon...
Yes. I wanted to thank you for accompanying me. I have my reasons for being here, of course, but I would hate to tarnish the festive atmosphere. Indeed. The Mikawa Flower Festival. Hundreds of years have passed since I last partook of the Yet, the name endures, and the joy of celebration along with it.
Traveler, Paimon. And the almighty Shogun?
Oh, Mizuki! Looks like you got some much-needed rest.
Yume Mizuki. Thank you.
Of course. I'm always willing to help. It's my duty.
Even so, relieving the pain of the nightmares is no small feat. You honor the legacy of the Yumeku Ippaku.
So not even Mizuki could fix it? What's going on with this night?
Let's save the difficult questions for later. Actually, I came here to ask you something. Want to come to the Isa bathhouse with me? Most of the contestants will be there. Oh, and don't worry about payment. It's my treat.
Really? Yes, let's go!
Well, game development isn't easy. Most of the contestants are exhausted. You've been under a lot of pressure yourselves with the investigation and all. So I thought you might like to join.
Of course we would! Right, Traveler?
I will remain here. I rarely have time away from Tenshukaku, and I would like to continue.
Aw, that's too bad.
I almost forgot. Miko wanted to talk to you, Traveler. I'll take you to her first.
Oh? Well, why don't we all go?
Almighty Shogun, your dango milk is ready.
Oh, delicious.
No need, Shogun. Miko just had some quick things to go over with the judges, that's all. You and Paimon can wait here. We'll only be a minute. All right, now we can talk freely. I think something's off with the Shogun. You've been with her the whole day. Have you noticed anything? Exactly. You noticed too. I've witnessed a lot of cases where patients, for a variety of reasons, are until their emotions become so heavy, even the strongest of people collapse under the weight. I see those warning signs in the Shogun. Humans, yokai, and archons bear the same capacity for emotion and are naturally susceptible to the same mental. It's very possible that someone who appears strong on the outside has learned to compartmentalize their negative emotions, and that is far from health. Anyway, the quickest route to curing the mind is through the heart. That's where you come in, Traveler. Approaching someone in a professional capacity often makes them more guarded. But don't worry, you'll still have my help. Here, with these 2 special coupons, you can get into Isa Bathhouse after closing. Then, this is what you're gonna do.
Finally, you're back! Paimon's had 2 servings of dango milk already!
Sorry for the wait. It sounds like the Traveler has other plans, Paimon. So we'll head to the bathhouse on our own.
Huh? You're not coming? Okay. Paimon will bring you back a hot spring egg!
There is no need to stay behind on my behalf. If you leave now, I'm sure you can catch up. What makes you say that? If my presence makes them nervous or impedes their ability to relax, does that not defeat the purpose of going to the hot springs? I already disturbed their progress by coming to the festival. The last thing everyone needs is more distractions. As you know, this body is hardly that fragile. It can operate for another 100 years with no issue. Mortals are weak in body and mind. If there is a choice of who to bear such a burden, naturally that person should be me. What does it matter? The world is not so easily bent to one's will. What clever verbal tricks, Traveler. It appears you've been spending too much time with Miko. You think you can get away with manipulating the Shogun? I wouldn't be so sure. Persistent indeed. Very well. As you proposed, we shall set out at midnight. Well, shall we head out? All right, no reason to delay. Ah, steam replete with the scent of orchids. Water that turns the complexion a blushing pink. So, this is a hot spring. Yes, there are royal hot springs near Tenshukaku, but the plans were set in motion only after Hiragi Hiroshi introduced the Snezhnayan blast furnace to Inazuma, and that was 500 years ago. When the project was complete, I was already in the plain of Euthymia. And, naturally, the body of the shogun has no need for such luxuries. The members of the Kanjo Commission were once friends with Makoto and the Kitsune Saigu. Although mere mortals, those who managed to survive back then were special individuals indeed. What makes you say that? Now I see why my officials claim that the hot springs facilitate conversation. Even I find myself divulging more than intended. You're correct. Following the dark disaster 500 years ago, a nightmare engulfed Inazuma. On a battlefield consumed in darkness, our soldiers fought against dark forces, creatures capable of possessing people and trapping them in nightmares. Even the Yumeku... perhaps not. The battle was intense. Those who stood up in defense of this land knew the chance of survival was slim. In the face of certain death, surely a nightmare is nothing to fear. But what if I told you this? If the person trapped in the nightmare was strong enough to overcome incapacitation, it would become a waking nightmare instead. The person would lose all capacity to distinguish dream from reality, perceiving everything in the real world as a continuation of the war, and every precious thing in life as an enemy to be annihilated. That is a far more painful nightmare. Yes. I unleashed Muso no Hitotachi and struck her down. No need. I have no regrets. I know it was the right decision, both for Inazuma's sake and her own. If necessary, I would do it again. Well, it's about time you two showed yourselves, yes? You've listened in long enough.
Oh. Before you say anything, this part wasn't me.
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, how about a hot spring tea party?
Hey!
Ah, nice and warm. No wonder the hot springs relaxed your inhibitions, eh?
So who came up with this idea? I want the truth.
I guess both of us?
Well, I happened to consult a certain clinical psychologist about how to get an old friend to open up. In her expert opinion, doing something new with a trusted companion in a new environment can make someone less guarded. Looks like it worked.
It's one thing to trust that Miko has good intentions, but would you let your guard down around her?
Your concern is misplaced. I kept these matters to myself because I was unsure whether this incident is connected to the past, and I did not want to interfere with the investigation. If the investigation reached an impasse, or new clues pointed to the nightmare from back then, naturally, I would have discussed this intel with you.
Intel, huh? It appears you still don't understand why I wanted you to open up in the first place.
Hmm?
Help me!
Sounds like it came from outside. Let's check it out. Oh no! Someone's unconscious!
It seems different in some respects. Step back and allow me to examine her.
What's going on? Almighty Shogun?
What happened just now? What frightened you?
Shogun?
It's all right. With the Shogun here, nothing can hurt you. Just...
I almost fainted again just now. Yes, I was on my way to your restaurant. And as I was crossing the bridge, I saw someone staring at me from behind a tree. It was hard to make out their appearance in the dark, but I had a bad feeling. So I tried to get a closer look in the moonlight, and it was me! In that moment, I thought about how people who see their doppelganger usually end up dead, and
A doppelganger? In Inazuma City? But we only detected traces of the nightmare around Mount Yu.
I heard that people encountered doppelgangers at Mount Yogo too!
Now that we have an understanding of the situation, why don't I take you to the police station to file a report?
Okay.
The situation is getting worse. If the doppelganger is limited to the festival grounds, that's one thing. But appearing...
On the bright side, the victim seems okay this time.
Bad news, Shogun!
A Tenryo Commission official? What's wrong?
Another victim! At the festival! Kappa is trapped in...
What?
But Sara and the others were keeping watch.
Make haste. Back to Mount Yogo at once. Kappa!
Excuse me. Let me take a look.
Mizuki! Traveler! Finally, you're back!
Now is not the time to cast blame. Did anyone witness the attack?
We split up for just a second, and the next thing we knew, he was on the ground.
Oh, it must be some terrible...
How is he, Mizuki?
It's strange. I can't perceive his nightmare. It's almost like he's...
The yokai! It must be getting stronger!
Kappa. Oh. No, it was I who underestimated the enemy. I who allowed us to continue the festival despite the potential dangers. Sarah, what is the status of the other contestants and staff? Good. By decree of the Shogun, I declare that the Mikawa Flower Festival is...
Wait.
What is it, Miko?
You're being too hasty, eh? I understand your concern for the people, but I urge you to think this through, or we risk playing into the enemy's hand. Considering your history with nightmares, you have better cause than anyone to exercise caution. But do you truly believe that what we're facing now...
Explain.
Call it intuition. If you want the truth, perhaps Doshin Shikanoin could shed some light. I believe there's been a break in the case.
That doesn't sound right.
Kappa is made of wood?
No wonder I couldn't sense the nightmare.
I see. So the doppelganger infiltrated the festival as Kappa and is currently hiding in Inazuma City.
Kozo and his two friends were together the whole time, too. They would have known... It's a Bakedanaki tail!
Kikaku! Kikaku! Run!
Tetsunosuke?
They're getting away!
Aren't you supposed to be in Inazuma City?
And leave you two by yourselves? That's not the Tanuki way!
No fighting! Let's go!
Bakedanaki! Those little terrors! Come on, let's go after them!
Nothing's working. The humans are catching up.
Little rascals! Stop running!
You wish!
Transform! Stupid humans won't be able to recognize us! You can't see me. You can't see me. I'm on fire.
Ouch!
Transform!
They're gone again! No, what are they this time? Some kind of stone or brick? Oh!
Everlasting as the moon!
Kichiro, protect us!
Save us, Tsukumo! We're almost rid of them.
Ah! A Tengu!
Tengu was flying! Tengu is a cheater!
Tengu, why are you helping the humans?
Shogun? That's the leader of the humans!
Shogun sent people to steal our land! Shogun is bad!
Calm yourself, Sarah. Let's hear them out.
Shogun sent humans to steal our home.
And the Mikawa Flower Festival! Shogun is making yokai serve the human!
Serve the humans? He's not talking about the game development.
Shogun even forced Great Baku Yokai to work all night!
Oh, you mean yesterday? That was my choice, actually.
Jeez, where are these ideas coming from?
Stay back!
Humans want to enslave us again!
Hold on. Something's not right. We should try.
No need. I know what's wrong. They're trapped in a nightmare.
What are you doing? Trying to put Tetsunosuke to work?
Kinkaku doesn't want to stay up all night.
Servitude, enslavement? These might sound like ridiculous misunderstandings to us, but that is their reality right now. A world of despair and fear, where enemies lurk at every turn, devoid of even a single shred of light.
So they're sleepwalking? How do we wake them up?
If we knew how, we would have done so back then.
Give us your worst! Kinkaku will never leave the Tanuki path! Kinkaku will die before serving you!
Truly?
What are you doing? No, don't!
The humans are everywhere. We can't hide forever.
How long have we been hiding? 100 years?
No idea. If you're...
Shh, quiet! Someone's coming.
This is a fine piece of land. The grain yield should be exceptional.
Remember to check for traces of yokai in the surrounding area. By order of the Shogun.
By order of the Shogun, we are to exterminate all yokai that...
Why so hasty? We should leave some alive.
We can make the...
Hey, you know about the Mikawa Flower Festival, right? I heard 50% of the profit is going to the development fund.
Oh yeah, the festival for humans.
The festival for humans, and humans alone.
That's right. We should put them to work. They're known for their transformations, right?
No. How?
Quiet, or they'll catch us.
What? What is that?
Ah! Hey, are you alright? Yoko, Kappa, I need help over here! Hold on! We're coming!
The yokai and the humans are unconscious?
The same thing happened to all of them?
The Mikawa Flower Festival!
This yokai can speak.
No, if we don't make it to the Mikawa flower, Boss Tama will eat us.
The humans are coming for us. We're gonna lose our home.
We infiltrate the Mikawa Flower Festival. We scare the humans away and then they won't come.
But how do we get into the festival?
Boss Toma is the best!
How about we turn into those 3 yokai?
Traveler! Traveler!
Are you all right, Traveler?
Huh? The nightmare is gone. You...
Humans! And a bunch of yokai!
The Mikawa Flower Festival! The humans are gonna... They're gonna...
Oh, that explains all the Boss Toma this and Boss Toma that. Wait a second. Hitotsume Kozo and the others should be Akitsu-yuge experts. But this time, Toma did all the work. Paimon can't believe we missed something so suspicious. Oh, you're saying Paimon's deductive reasoning is Hazel level.
Based on your description, Traveler, it's possible these Bake Danuki have been in hiding for 500 years. Sounds like they know Ioroi, too. Why don't we...
The protector of the grove. It's been 500 years since our last meeting. Sarah, Heizo, return to the festival to keep watch. The doppelganger incident has been resolved, but the threat of the nightmare remains. I will handle the meeting with Ioroi myself.
Oh, keep it down. Bringing all these people at this hour. Don't you know even statues need to sleep? Shogun! I bow before thee. No, wait, shoot, I'm still a statue.
All is well, Ioroi, hidden protector of the grove.
Ah, that would be because when Ioroi tried to pluck a naku weed from the Imperial Garden, A nearly split him in two, Yashiori Island style.
Keep it to yourself, you meddlesome kitsune.
Ioroi, I wish to ask you something.
Anything, Shogun. Absolutely anything. It is...
Suck up.
You could have at least slowed down a little. It took forever to convince them to come with me.
Oh, it's Ioroi! The humans really did kill you!
Your body is stone!
Huh? I am not dead!
Not dead? The Kitsune spoke the truth?
This smell.
Yoroi? The humans really did.
Wait, this must be Kinkaku, and Tetsunosuke.
When the humans, Kamuna Harunosuke, came to hurt us.
We ran and hid. The humans searched and searched. So many friends couldn't move. Our yokai powers were getting weaker.
So we decided to escape the human just as the great Bakedanukitsu.
That's when we uncovered a horn filled with yokai power. It was the will of the great Bakeda.
It restored our power. And then we made the human go, oh,
And by
we tricked him and ran.
So, you didn't actually beat him up at...
We've been using the horn to hide ever since. But there are too many humans.
A horn full of yokai power. Could that be the source of the nightmares? The reason the Bakedanuki are so afraid of humans? If the horn contained the fragment of a nightmare, using its power to hide would spread the nightmare to them. That means the Bakedanuki...
Ha! I could have told you that nothing good would come from that horn. Using external power is against...
We strayed from the path?
But the horn helped us hide from the humans. The humans tried...
On the contrary, the purpose of the investigation was to determine in advance whether we avoid encroaching on yokai territory altogether or attempt to reach...
Oh, really?
Wait, that is what the humans said back then, isn't it?
By order of the Shogun, if yokai live here, we need to discuss the...
Ginkaku Tetsunosuke. Not all humans are bad. Yellow Fur over there helped me a great deal, you know.
Besides, the Bakedanaki were only sealed away back then because Yoroi stole that comb.
Yoroi? It's a thief?
How was I to know it was used to make sacred Sakura Daifuku? I gave it back, didn't I?
So the humans were mean for no reason?
Well, if you must know, the young human and I fought. I was perhaps a tad careless, so I conceded the match.
There he goes again, changing the subject when it makes him look bad.
Now you know. No human is trying to harm you.
So, it was all a nightmare.
500 years in hiding?
It was a 500-year-long game of hide and...
Huh? We won?
Hey, my game of hide-and-seek isn't over yet.
Wow, the mind of a Bakedanaki is something else. Still so cheerful even after...
That nature is what isolated them from the worst effects of the nightmare and prevented them from causing any real harm. But a nightmare that's still affecting people after all this time? Who could it belong to?
Tainted by darkness, the Oni warrior raised her sword against the almighty Shogun. Losing an arm and a horn to the Shogun's blade, she fled into the forest, never to be a trusted lieutenant fighting against the forces of darkness. She was once devoured whole by a beast from beyond this world, with the body of a tiger and the tail of a serpent. Thus she earned the name Chio the Tiger Bite, or Tora Chio.
I don't think Chio would like that name. Though she escaped the belly of the beast alive, that battle never left her. She saw the memories of her fallen comrades everywhere, slaughtered one after another. The nightmare twisted every joy in her life, her subordinates, family, and friends, into enemies in need of destruction. It was in that state, trapped in the battlefield of her mind, that she raised her sword against me on Mount Yogo. With the Muso no Hitotachi, I cut off her arm, one of her horns, and a portion of the mountain itself.
And subsequently uncovered by 3 Bakedanuki. That means the fragment on the horn.
Nightmares feed on fear and anxiety. If what the traveler saw is true, it's possible Kinkaku and the others' fear over the past 500 years allowed an earthbound spirit. They move through the ley lines, but are also bound by them.
It would seem the fragment of this nightmare is no different from the one back then. It hates the investigation team working for a better future. Attacked. Hitotsume Kozo and his friends, kind enough to lend a helping hand.
Yeah, and we were attacked too! Right when we were having fun with the playtest.
Perhaps it needs to regain strength after your defeat. Or perhaps it is biding its time because it knows, with whatever rationality remains. But sooner or later, its twisted hatred will force it out of hiding, and it will move to strike its enemies. When Chio set her sights on a target, she was never...
Oh.
But both possibilities prove something. Nightmare fragments can be defeated. And an enemy that can be killed is one that can be split in two by the power of Muso Ishin.
There's really no other way?
Mikoshi Chio is gone. A fragment of a nightmare tied to a severed horn. That is all.
Oh, who cares about the dead anyway? I'm just trying to look out for the living.
What is that supposed to mean, Miko?
Oh, I'm just concerned about our poor Bakedanu.
Huh? What does that have to do?
The nightmare fragment has been tied to the Bakedanuki for nearly 500 years. Strike it down and who's...
I beseech you, almighty Shogun, spare the young ones. It was just a...
Miko, you speak the truth?
If you don't believe me, ask Mizuki and the Traveler. I'm sure they've encountered similar cases during their...
Well, Yes. During my studies both in Liyue and...
Then, what would you propose? This nightmare fragment is a constant threat to...
If the fragment's hatred toward the world comes from a nightmare, then the most...
Right! Can't you just eat the nightmare?
The Yumekui Baku already tried that 500 years ago.
What was impossible back then is not necessarily impossible now. I think Mizuki has the right idea. Why not use this entity's tricks against it? Combat illusions with illusions. Combat nightmares with dreams.
Is that even possible?
Don't forget, there are yokai that specialize in shape-shifting.
Where? Kinkaku doesn't see them anywhere!
Maybe they're hiding a
Fools! The Kitsune is clearly referring to the Bakedanuki. Tetsunosuke, Kinkaku, must you be so...
Given their centuries-long connection to the nightmare fragment, they are perfectly positioned to create a dreamscape that...
Back then, the nightmare had little to no weaknesses. If we...
You said it yourself. Mikoshi Chio is gone. All that remains is a fragment of her nightmare, already broken and vulnerable. Besides, Mizuki is an old friend, one that is not to be underestimated. She has
She just usually doesn't compliment me to my face. But Miko's right.
If once we perform the ritual, it will take some time for the barrier to take effect. Luckily for us, we have two formidable warriors on our festival representative, who also happens to have extensive experience against dark forces, and the almighty Shogun, unmatched in combat. I'm sure
there's just one problem. Since this entity can pass through the ley lines, it's
the solution to that is obvious. If then naturally a joyous occasion would be an evil beyond measure.
So, if we want to lure it out...
The Mikawa Flower Festival!
What joy could possibly...
I would imagine we can all think of a few. But I agree. The Mikawa Flower Fest. Once the enemy appears, I will pull them into the plain of Euthymia immediately. Traveler, I ask that you join me there so we can subdue the enemy.
All right. I will update everyone back at the festival and start the preparations for the ritual.
Looks like an all-nighter for me.
Well, this was your idea. Oh, and don't forget, you need to finish a little fox's daydream as well.
And in a surprising twist, you were my nightmare all along.
Traveler, during the battle tomorrow, it is imperative you know your limits. If the enemy proves too much to handle, leave them to me. I know. I understand your concerns, just as you know mine. We need not say any more than that. One more thing. Thank you.